Ladies and gentlemen, now we have to perform a pleasant duty, and on behalf of all of you, I will request our President, Praveen Mamkadle, to hand over a small token of love and appreciation in form of a bouquet to first Uday Arur, who is going to take the MULAQAT of Shri Durgesh Chandavarkar. You want to take the photograph? Para take one bouquet avashyam. Be ready. Okay. Thank you. Nanta karu apan, I will also request Praveen Mamkadle to hand over another, sort of a symbol of affection and love to Durgesh Chandavarkar in form of a bouquet. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be having the actual event of this evening, that is MULAQAT. So, may I request you gentlemen to be on this chair. You be there, Praveen. Uday ma'am, you come in the center. Actually, we were thinking of moving this table, but our guests on the dais have requested us, let it be there. So, is it okay for you? It's your choice. If you say that table to be removed, we'll remove. They are very much in favor of that. CEOs to entry-level leaders and helps them to perform at their best. He calls himself a curious student of life and loves to write stories every day of his learning about life and share it on the social media. He has got a lot of things to be shared with you, but he has given this brief because during the MULAQAT, all of us will know what is Uday Ma'am, what is Durgesh Ma'am. Now let me tell you in brief about Durgesh Ma'am. Durgesh Ma'am Chandavarkar is a highly successful entrepreneur associated with Standard Gurus and Specialities Private Limited and Royal Castor Products Limited. I got his biodata, but I'm not going to read it because it's going to be a MULAQAT with him. So Uday Ma'am is going to ask him some questions and we will get to know a lot of things which will inspire us to be entrepreneurs of tomorrow. So may I, on behalf of all of you, lovely ladies and graceful gentlemen, hand over the mic to Uday Ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. As Praveen Ma'am rightly said, as Bhanaps, we are very kind of security-minded kind of people, and therefore our entry into entrepreneurship is something very new. And there's a startup fever, as you know, there's a startup fever all over the country. I mean, there's special kind of supplements and pages devoted to entrepreneurship in the Economic Times, as you may have seen. And we have so many senior entrepreneurs amongst us, and then they would definitely be a great source of inspiration for us, because in a time when the environment was not right for entrepreneurship and it was a licensed Raj, and people like Durgesh Ma'am took on the mantle of starting something new, and therefore, I mean, there's a lot to learn from them. And let's see how what kind of stuff we can learn from them. So to get acquainted with Durgesh Ma'am, I had a long conversation with him last week, and what I've understood about him is that his life is based on 4 solid beliefs. So first is belief in himself. The second is belief in maintaining and having good relationships. The third is his belief in giving and charity. He's got a very generous and large-hearted, kind of very large-hearted person. And lastly, or maybe not really last, but then the real foundation, his belief in God and Guru. And I think that is what has sustained him throughout in his career, his fucking career. So I'd like to start, and Durgesh Ma'am, I kind of summed up your life in these 4 beliefs by saying that, belief in self, relationships, giving, and God and Guru. Anything else you want to add in terms of beliefs?
What you said is right, but this all I inherited, this whole thing inherited from my parents, my elder brothers. I was born in a very small village where there was no light, no road, no school, nothing. So, but it was very close to Shirali, my place where I belong, called Shirani, and where my Guru lives, and Guru Parampara there is Shirali. It's only 4 or 5 kilometers distance. So, there where I was born, of course my parents were, our Amchis mainly from the North Kanara and South Kanara were land holders all these years. And we firmly believed in having a land at that time because there was not cash as such like today. It was only land and the land earnings from the land like paddy, coconut, fruit, mango, or cashew, all these things. But they never felt cashless that time, Although we know that we feel there is less cash, but that time my parents never felt cashless. Whenever anybody came to them, and they always giving, known, unknown, all people they always giving. They were very compassionate and kind, and also helped many. I cannot, so many thousands and maybe more. That is how I've been brought up. Even my parents went to the, during the sword satyagraha, or they went to the jail. They were one year they were jail, perhaps they were not born. Then they came out because they had a large land holding. They came into the influence of Murari Desai and Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhiji, not the present Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhiji. So he distributed all the land that time, keeping what is required as per the land of the law of the land for our family. Rest all he gave up. And during that time, although there were courts like Bhatkal and Honavar, the courts were there, my village consisting about maybe around 4,000-5,000 people there in the village, maybe more now. Nobody went to the court. They used to come to my father for any arbitration and help, and he used to give them very, what is called, without any discrimination, he used to give them judgment. That was the final. That is how we have been brought up. Myself, we are 5 brothers. All of us, we were brought up like that. So, that is how my, journey started from that, my small village. I still love nature, I still love plant, I still live water, I have got a lot of emphasis on this which I will tell you later. So that is how I have been brought up.
Something very interesting, ma'am, because that there's truly great inspiration. I mean, having been freedom fighters and then being almost the most respected person in the village, and then his word was law in terms of kind of doing out justice to people. And that was great. And but tell me, ma'am, then okay, so you went through your school education. And
then I came to Bombay because then my parents felt that my brothers felt I should come to Bombay. Because that time Bombay, actually, when I was born, that Bombay, it was like Bombay was a Bombay Prant. It was like Kanara district was under Bombay Prant. Bombay and Karwar district, including so many other districts, were Bombay Prant. So then, now it is after the, under 52, it became big district like Karnataka, Maharashtra and all came. That time it was Bombay. I mean, of course, when I came into already Bombay state, Maharashtra state, we were in Karnataka state. I studied in Kannada, I know Kannada very well. I got a lot of languages. So, but when I came, I used to know only 2 languages, Kannada and Konkani.
oh, really?
Yes. But my mother said before leaving my place, you only chant Gayatri.
Oh.
She gave me the advice of chanting Gayatri. Just I want to bring little into this whole thing, and I'm sure my youngsters are here, elders. I don't have to give advice; they must be practicing it. I firmly believe from that day I never left Gayatri Japa. Wherever I travel, whether by air, whether by road, whether by train, whether in India, London, America, wherever I traveled, all over the world I have traveled, I never left my Japmala. During my flight also, I except by sleeping, otherwise I go on. I never think anything. I never, prepare anything by going for any discussion with anybody. I don't make any points. I have got my, everybody has got three, what is called, I just cannot get that word. Shravana, Vachan and Smaran, Ani, Vachan and yeah, these three things. I don't believe in, I don't like reading. I don't like reading. If you ask me so many things, I will just glance through and suddenly it becomes, it goes into my memory lane. That is, I completely, what's called, the divine, my Gayatri's divine mother's grace. Because that Grahana Shakti, on a grass, only grass porche, and Aikal porche. These are all, I believe in. There are a lot of people read it and they understand. That's very nice. But for me, reading is a very boring subject. I don't read much. So it tells, Vinod tells me something, he tells me, I grasp what is important, I grasp it, and you ask me, after 5 years, I will repeat it. That's in God's grace. So, that God has given me, only that Divine Mother Gayatri, I feel, her grace is there. So, everybody should chant this. And you get an aura among you, whenever you go, nobody will, I have never come across, wherever I went in my life, I never come with saying no. In my business life, personal life, anything I have gone, I have been always, they always like me, I don't know why. I'm not trying to impress upon you, but that is, I feel, because her grace is always with you. So that's it,
That's nice, and of course, everybody wants to be liked, but unfortunately, some of us are instantly disliked. But you are very fortunate that, you are liked instantly. I mean, I wish I could get some of that charm from you. I think that you mentioned two things, Mom. One was that, that you didn't know English, you only knew Kanara and Konkani when you came to Mumbai. And that's what I admire about these kind of, migrants. I mean, our migrants who came in from Karnataka to urban cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, etc. They came without the knowledge of English and then really picked up the language and speak. I mean, you just heard it. He's so fluent. But our youngsters, you find, they really struggle. And of course, we have WhatsApp with, the short forms kind of, really throwing our language for a toss. So I don't know what's going to happen with the next generation. But hopefully not with our Chitrapur Saraswat. I mean, they are brilliant. And, okay, Ma'am, another thing which you said was that you came to Mumbai. Do you have any memories of the struggle? Because you came from a small town, right? With a very small population, and then you were suddenly thrown into the large milieu of the Mumbai crowds. How was that transition?
Well, when I came, obviously my brothers were in bank. All three brothers were in bank. So I was not liking banking job. I didn't like it. So I like to work for an industry. So I got a job in an industry, an English firm in Thane. I was staying that time in Dombivli, then we shifted to Andheri, then I went to Goregaon, then we went to Juhur. That was a big journey. So I worked there for 10 years. I worked in inspection, production, and finally I was put into marketing because the management knew this boy, he can do marketing. And I did really well for the company, and wherever I went, I brought success, and the managers were from England, the English, British, so they liked me so much. But somehow or other, I thought this is not my cup of tea. I don't want to work under somebody. So I said, let me start something.
Yeah, before that, may I just interrupt?
Yes.
You said that you spent 10 years in the industry, right, working, and then you had various experiences in various departments. So many of our youngsters would be having the same idea. They work for a certain period of time in an organization, and then they switch. You know, they say, okay, I mean, the startup fever catches them, and then they start their business or something. So, would you like to give any kind of tips on, first of all, if I have a plan for, let's say, I want to start a business, how should I prepare myself for the transition from job to a business? Are there any kind of ideas you might want to
See,
share?
that particular time, I had no idea. I had neither saving to keep up, but I don't advise that way now, because going forward and seeing so many ups and downs in life, the youngsters should first choose a good business model, and also if possible, try to get a good partner, because what happens individually, it is possible to reach a particular level, but that is in my firm belief. Of course, you should be lucky to have with me, my partners, the Vyas family, which I have been associated for almost 3 decades now. They're so nice. They are not Anchis, but so Gujaratis, Brahmins, and so nice people. And of course, with them, I brought a company along with them. We also worked together. We brought this company with this almost, what is the turnover, which you will tell now the audience. So our group companies, many are there, but I have not given all the companies' names. I have given very few.
I'll talk with them later.
So I personally feel, you first, anybody start a family starts a business. Be in UK or USA or anywhere in the world, the family starts a business. Then we can say corporate. That is how we should, and you should create, my desire to create an institution. That's how we are created now. You should create an institution. That doesn't happen for day one, unless your father is a businessman, then you take out from him, then do it. There's a second issue. But absolutely pure person, a single individual start, it's not very easy, but with the help of people, some ideas, we can always bring and can start it. But as you go on, try to get some good people with you, so that you become more stronger and healthier in business. Of course, again, it's a luck and God's grace, Swamiji's grace. You get a good, because sometimes never know what sort of person you will land into. Because it's a $1 million question, but by moving, seeing people, background, you can always, find out their trade, but their behavior pattern. You have to be extremely careful in that. Once you choose that, it's like a marriage. It's like a marriage. You're looking for another partner. So that is what I think we should do. So that become very healthy. One should be from the account side, one should be marketing side, one guy from the production side. That's how my company has worked. I want to be entire marketing. My partner Vinod I want to be in production. Like that, how we built up this company from zero level. Today we are almost, our group turnover is almost 3,000 crores. And so, we are gone into backward integration, forward integration. There are so many things, and we also went diversification of many products, because sometimes some industry does not live for a long. Actually, now the lubricant industry we are into is a sunset industry. It is not a sunrise industry. But when I started, it was a sunrise industry, and that is how we made the money. We made a good cash flow. We made it everything. We have got we are obviously a cash rich company. And that is how it's all public domain. It's not something secret, I'm telling you. It's a public domain. So that is how the company is built. So we should have when you make a business, you should see how the cash flow is. Of course, Praveen Ma'am, Vinod Ma'am, they are all there to guide you on the finance side. I am not a great expert in finance, but I know how to bring the business, how to make the business, how to make the money in business. Those things, God has given. But how to handle the money is also very equally important.
Yeah, ma'am, that's so important, right? So I want to ask you that, most of us, having been born in that security kind of environment, are mostly risk averse. Okay. And then you also said that when you started with zero capital? More or less, I would say. Yeah?
Yes.
I mean, you had some money in the bank and your wife was working in the bank.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, all those kind of, fallbacks you had. But how did you go about choosing a business? Because, that's a great kind of, challenge.
Yes.
What kind of suggestions?
See, I tell you, when I started my business, I was thinking what to do. How to get the fast money in your hand. So put an industry, it takes 3 years, 2 years, to by the time you come into get into money. So I thought that particular time, 50 years back, I thought I must start a transport business. Transport business, instantly it gives you money. Now, I make a truck, put it on that, for transportation. I take the freight, any cargo, I get the money back. So that was my idea. In that, I made lot of money in the initial stage. I made really lot of money, but unfortunately, indiscriminately, I started opening my branches, which was not a right thing to do. In that, I lost out a lot of money. But at the same time, I would like to, emphasize how I got to get into the business. That transport business gave me an insight of each and every customer I was handling. I was handling pharma, engineering, the petroleum products, and so many other agro products, all these companies, fertilizer, so many companies I have handled. I will give you one small incident later on, how transporter they were treating then, when I sat in front of my person, when I finance manager of a company, very big American company. I went for requesting for a business, transport business. He made me sit since morning 9 o'clock. I was there till 5 o'clock. Then 5 o'clock finally he felt a pity perhaps, that this fellow is waiting, he called me. I had no water, no tea, nothing, but I was a young boy, I could tolerate it. He saw me, he said, "Gentleman, I thought you were a driver. Therefore I didn't call you because transportman driver. They were just connecting driver and transport." I said, "No, Baba, I am not a driver, but I know driving of course. But I am not a driver, but I am a transport company." "Oh, okay, let me try because you waited for so much. You had a pity on me." So he gave me business. But that business turned out to be beneficial to him, to me as well. But they are benefited by my association in many ways, which I don't want to highlight here because the past. But they still remember the old guys who are not in the company but they are very old now. But still they call me, they talk to me, they remember, they always chat with me, see what has happened that time, how was that's how the industry was seen as a transport that time. Now it is totally different. Then while transporting many companies, I was billing, my invoices to the companies for my freight. Engineering company was to give me 120 days, pharma company used to give me 60 days, agro-based company used to give me 160 days. Every company was giving 60 days. Only petroleum company, that is Castor, I want to mention here, where my mentor is there and late there, Valjaikar. Amchis have helped me a lot to my business success. That's why, when you said you come, and that's why I said let me come. And I want to tell you, I have come up because of Amchis. And I will tell a few names later on. And I am ever grateful to them. And that is how I am sitting here, because of their kindness, their help at that time. Otherwise, probably I would have not seen these days. That's how it started. Because Castor was the one company, also tied over to another company that time also. Now where we are almost owning that company now, that company also, they used to give me, suppose 30 days time, they used to give me 15 days time money. If I asked them little early, next day. So I said, what is the magic in this company? That they are so cash rich. Then I became so friends because of Mr. Valjaikar. I came to so many people in that. What used to happen that time? People used to come from all over country. Here at Valkeshwar, there is a White House. Still there is an office in school. Castor office was that one day. People used to come money bag with cash. They wanted a product. There was no product available because everything was canalized. IOC, HPC, BPC. Only private companies called Tidewater, Castor and Petrosil. That was a Gulf brand that time. So we became with Gulf, we partners in Indonesia as well as in Dubai. Then we became partners with Indigenous also. Of course, we just exited 2 years back because they wanted to consolidate their balance sheet for the New York Stock Exchange. So we exited from there. But we have excellent relation with the individuals also even today. In spite of, we are no more, but still they call, we meet on occasions. So then I came to know that it's better to get into oil business. That is how. And that is how I got into the petroleum sector, where with the help of Baljakarma, that time they started a re-refining unit in Patalganga, but they were not getting the oil, required waste oil. See the fun, how it God gives you, when your luck changes, His grace is there. They put up a factory, that time they invested about 50 crore. I'm telling you about 40-45 years back. To re-refine, because that time the oil was not available, base oils. We were producing your greases and lubricants and all, because base oil is required. Everything canalized through Indian oil. So, Baljakarma called me, Durgesh, we have put a factory more than 1 year, I am not unable to run the factory. So what happened? I am not getting the raw material. What do you do? I said, give me some time, I will come back to you. I said, how much oil is required? I said, how much you want to give, however you want to give me, I will buy it. No quantity, blank order.
You have something to say, Praveen Mark? Something more?
Yeah, he talked about his cash flows. So commitment is important, as I mentioned, especially in business. Even in the normal life also, honoring your commitment is the most important. That's how the world will recognize you. Hello, how can I Sangeet, can I turn now? They were so competitive like that. He is somebody who never will keep his word.
Integrity, yes.
Yeah, so integrity, as you rightly use the word, integrity is very important. Commitment is very important. I must also tell you, which you were talking about, the factors or the beliefs which he has in terms of, in which he has always believed in. But I must also tell you some of his virtues, or you can say what has made him successful. So maybe I can, if you allow me.
Of course.
I think one thing is he finds opportunities which others don't find. I've seen this many times. And he has also told me many instances where his partners did not believe that this particular project will succeed. But when he was talking about it, yes, to me also it looked like there won't be any real opportunity. But he sees opportunity. And he makes that opportunity convert into a reality. So that's something which is a great success.
He's a visionary, you see. He's a kind of visionary. He sees.
You can call it as a business visionary. So that's the first point. The second point is risk-taking ability. See, Amchis, we are basically service-minded people. So we don't want to take any risk. Some job might have 5,000, 10,000, whatever is our salary, might not have. So that's our, but he's not that kind of person. So he's a risk-taking person. But that doesn't mean that he is a careless person. There is a fine balance which you need to have in terms of risk-taking, as well as where you will end in terms of risk-taking. So that is something maybe his genes from his parents, whatever, I don't know. But that's a very fine balancing which he has done, getting the opportunities, but don't become extravagant. Take risks, don't take too much of risk. Where to stop, that he knows very well. And that's a very fine balancing of risk taking. And that's why he is very successful.
And not only that, I would like to add, when you do something, don't leave it half.
I was going to talk
You
about
must finish that. You should have tremendous will. There will be always ups and downs in the while moving. But never give up. You fight. If I had given up when I started my business, when my business was doing well, except my wife and my brother who stood by me like a rock with me behind, I would have given up. Then I would have collapsed. But they said, you fight, we are there. You fight, we are there. That word was enough for me. I never gave up. And I went one this, another, third. But finally, I got the success which I was aiming, which I told you also how things went, and again, we are today. Even my company, when I started Standard Grease, it was just only grease manufacturing. Then we went for, Royal Castor, you said, mentioned. How Royal Castor was born? Royal Castor was born because grease manufacturing unit called hydrogenated castor oil, which Raju Mam is very familiar, and he knows everything about our company, Royal Castor, he knows it. There's almost 350 crore company, I think. Okay, that's in Gujarat. We also got a Japanese collaboration there. We are also going to get another 2 Japanese companies now coming in for another joint venture very soon. So that company started in 1995. The reason because we were buying these castor derivatives from Giant Agro. You must be knowing Giant. This Udeshis. They were not giving us in time. See, I used to have please order here, but I could not process it because the raw material is not available. So it was such a big, and they used to know that I have an order. They used to twist my arm. Then I told my partners, damn these bloody fellows. Okay, let us go forward and manufacture SEO directly. That is how we landed into Gujarat. Because see how again God's grace is on us, and our Guru's grace and God's grace is there on us. Because I time to time again emphasize, without direct grace nothing is moves. Because I am a firm believer of destiny, God, and my Guru, which he comes to my rescue time to time. He not physically not there, but he comes to my in dreams, sometimes blesses me, tells me, whenever I go he gives me advice. Like me, there are a lot of people also, they are getting. And I will tell you the story of our Swamiji's little later on. So, we went to searching for putting a SEO plant and for HSA plant, both. So then, one of our, now the partners, Patels, they started a factory there in Chitrapur near Mehsana, which is the hub of castor oil production, where the 70% of the castor that is among the air and element of castor oil is produced in Gujarat of the whole country. So there they started a factory, but there was no business. So they were looking for a partner. We were looking at company to start. So the consultant living in Baroda, one is a Shah. So he happened to know us. Then he said, why you are going to put your factory? There is a fellow is already struggling to survive. He is breaking his head. Why don't you join him? They are Patels, they are here, then at least meet them and talk to them, we find them a good. I said, fine. Myself, Vinod Bhai and his younger brother Harish Bhai went there, we saw, we met the Patels. They were so nice, good, and which Vinod Bhai and Pravinama both visited my plant about 2 years back. So I'm sure they like the place. So they are so nice people. And how how God also brings two good people together. This is example. And today, how many years now? 15 years and then almost 30, 20 and 30, 35 years. 35 years our partnership. And we are growing. And I told that time, when I started, I am the chairman of the company. When inauguration, I said, that time there was no business. I said, within 10 years, you will see 200 crore business. Even today they say, Brahman ka mukha, ab jo bola wo sach ho gaya. So Patel sir telling, they are not Brahmins. ये ब्राह्मण ने बोला वो बरोबर. अभी आप बोलो क्या होने वाला है? हम बोला 1000 करोड़ हो जाएगा अभी. So we reached about 350 crore now. I am sure we will reach very soon 1000 crore. I am sure it will reach. And I can tell you within the next couple of years, maybe 2-3 years, we will touch 1000 crore. Of course, that is as far as and then how that we started getting our grease business also went up, because that raw material, without that raw material you cannot produce. That is how we became Royal Castor.
Your expansion looks like kind of a little bit of chance and destiny and vision and a whole lot of things. But what would you attribute? I mean, you also told me that you have a good sense of grasping and learning. So I think any kind of suggestions or advice here on how to go about kind of researching.
Yeah, no, I tell you, it is not research, but I'll tell you what happened. Now, we were in Tarapur. Tarapur, we started a factory in 1983. We started, there are two factories we started. There are two units. One standard base, one Tarapur. Now it's all one company now. But again, 1995-96, the Silvassa became a big hub because income tax and sales tax rebate, there exemption there. I told my friends, let us start business start factory there. So Bombay, 200 kilometers. I said, what is 200 kilometers? Let us start. Fortunately, my friends in Castor, Mr. Goswami, Goswami, and also there is one thyroid at that time, Mr. J. Naik was there, who was chief executive. He said, Durgesh, you start here, I will get your land. Just in essence, starting only. Silvassa was just coming up that time. That time, 15 years, no income tax, no sales tax. So that is how exactly our standards built up our strength from there. Because we could save sales tax and competitive, and then income tax. Almost 34% we saved. It's a big saving. That is how, the opportunity you have to see. It doesn't come walking. You have to look for it. You have to look for it. Keep your eyes and ears open. Talk to people. Mingle with people. See, if you are introvert, nothing happens. You should be an extrovert in your approach. In business, anything, you should be extrovert. Talk to people. People, they are not by telling them, suppose they are asking me questions and I tell them, what do I lose? But I always share with them so that they should be benefited. You should be always completely extrovert and be friendly. What all friendship I have developed in these 50 years. I have got politicians, ministers, MLAs, MPs, IRS, IPS, IAS, corporate giants. They are all my friends. And I am a very small speck in the whole thing. I am not like a Deepak Parekh or Vinod Mam, Praveen Pedle Mam. They are all big giants. I am honest, I am telling you. They are in their own state. But today, to me, people love. I know now scientists like ISRO chairman, Dr. Castor is my close friend and nothing in common, but simply loves me.
Can I just quote what he has said? I think there are some very nice words he has spoken about. Kasturi Rangan was, of course, the chairman of ISRO, and he says, my association with Mr. Durgesh Chandavarkar goes back to nearly 2 decades. This period to me has been very eventful, as I had the good fortune of seeing him scaling the multi-dimensional ladder of life, which includes, besides his core business interest, a deep commitment to social upliftment, extraordinary display of philanthropy, and above all, caring and inspiring all those who like me who came in contact with him in different contexts. And based on this, Mama, I would like to kind of take a question up with you, maybe just some paucity of time. This last question is that, spirituality has been a very important part of you, right? And you related an experience of your factory in Gujarat where Swamiji had come. Would you like to? In Bombay, sir? Okay. So would you like to?
Yes. See, I have the great fortune of spending time with our late Anandashan Swamiji. I was a child that time. I used to sit down below when he was to talk in Chirali because schooling in Chirali. Then came Parinarayan Swamiji, had a lot of personal interaction with him, moved with him in our area for various reasons. He used to, when Bombay we came, he was. So that is my next great fortune. So my greatest fortune now is our Sajjala Shankaracharya Swamiji. Where we, all of us are involved, Vinod Mam is there, Praveen Mam, all of them. He took me on the trust of Karla and Ananda Ashram, of course, Rizul Mam took me, but now he's a part of our mat. Wherever our Swamiji went, I want to tell you, wherever our Swamiji went, he brought all good luck to everyone. Wherever खंय आमगे पाय दवरला सगळ्यांक तांगेले पुरा तांगेलो घर जालें म्हळ्यार तांगेलो बर जालें. He came to my house couple of times. His Swamiji, Chitrapur Swamiji came and stayed with me. Both the Swamiji came to my house for a couple of times. It's great fortune for me. And narrating one small story, he was in Wadi here during the he was going back to New Bombay, Vachi, for a program. Shiv Shankaram, you are right?
Yes.
In December, while going, I requested Swamiji, I bought this company about 1 year back in Turbe from Shell. You know Shell? Yeah, Shell. Yeah. No, Shell are the plantation. That plant, they built another plant in Taroja. They formed it a smaller plant. They wanted to dispose of. So they said, the MD was my close friend. He said, are you interested in buying it? I said, certainly. So they went to the process of tendering. They thought what they needed. I quoted, I got it. It's a prime property in Turbe, and I'm not telling the value of the company. Value of the company is always what we paid and what is today is totally different. But what sort of business I got it, because of that plant, also great thing happened. Shiv Shankaram, correct? So, then 1 year there was no business. Can I continue?
There's no constraint on time.
Yeah.
It's developing so well.
Okay, yeah. So, Swamiji, I told Swamiji, there is no business 1 year, then I want you to come and spend some time in the plant before you go to there. So, Vinod Mama also there at that time, I think. Yeah, they were put president of the yes, then I piloted Swamiji from here to plant, and we did Padpuja and all. Tower 3, going to the factory. Swamiji went to the plant, he really loves, this plant, he that visits, he went and everything. He saw, then went to, he spent about 4 hours. From that day, I can tell you, there is no looking back about the business. Business is a barbar or sugal. I'm telling you, which otherwise I would have lost that business. Because of the plant and Swamiji is coming, I'm 100% contributing to his grace. That plant would have brought us so much of luck. Another wonderful thing happened. All companies undergo raids, excise raid, sales tax raid, income tax raid, all that. Nobody is an exception, and we are also not an exception. There was a raid afterwards, after 2-3 years, there was a raid in my company by excise department. So I was there since morning till late 2 o'clock night. They were, questioning, answering. So they visited all our plants. Bombay office, Tarapur 2 factories, Silvassa factories, they went. But they never visited that Turbe plant. Am I right? I will. Mukaryo, come. I have to, every time I will tell Shiv Shankaram, because he is one witness to me here, what I am talking. So, it is only His grace, they never came to that plant. So, what else I can tell you about Swamiji's grace? So, this is my experience I am sharing with you, and all of you should be aware of it, and you are all also, एक नहीं दूसरे तरीके से मोटू तन डेफिनेटली बेनिफिशियल असत मा का खातिर असत.
One of the things, of course, he talked about it. What is important is the other factor is especially when you are in business, is the respect for an individual. So that's very important principle one should follow, and that's what he has followed in very. I would say it has now become part of his DNA, blood, whatever you call it. Whether he is meeting the chaprasi of that company or the chairman of the company, he will respect that individual in the same manner. He will talk to the chaprasi, he will ask, I have seen this happening many times, to make sure that company goes, or even in the ordinary course of life. Then he meets the chairman. So he will talk, and that's why he has built all this relationship, as he talked about earlier. That's because he has the he follows the principle of respect for an individual.
You are right, actually. My driver is not an employee of the company. But every time he meets sorry.
My driver is not an employee of the company. I have employed him. But every time he comes across him, he will ask him about his family, how are things, are you comfortable, is everything fine? There is no need, but he does that. And my driver always comes and tells me, Sahib, aaj mala vicharo to the, kasa hai sir.
So just if you, how the big, he talked about, when you are doing anything, whether it's a business or anything, you should create that as an institution. And I must tell you this IBM story. I worked, we had a joint venture with IBM, so I was there for about 5 years. This was almost 30 years ago. And I found that Mr. Watson was the founder of the IBM, and IBM is now 120 years old company. It's still very successful company, and not very easy to, in the computer business, IT business, to have that kind of a success when technology changes. And Mr. Watson, he had laid down the principles for his employees to follow, and he put that respect for an individual as the first principle. You may do very well, you may do very badly, or whatever it is, but you should always have the respect for an individual. And whenever I and this is something which, when we started the joint venture in 91, Tata's and IBM, this is what we learned from IBM people. And whenever I look at Durgesh Ma, I remember that principle that why he is successful, because if you want to create an institution, you need to believe in certain fundamental principles, and that's what it is, respect for an individual. And the other principle, they said, you can become extremely successful, but never forget your roots. And so you need to be so he has never forgotten his roots. So that's also very important that you need to always remember your roots. I can go on talking about what I observed in Durgesh, but as I said, these are very important beliefs which you believe in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think integrity, commitment to your word, and building relationship, respect for the other individual, these are so important, right? Very simple to really practice. I mean, if you really want to do that, but it depends upon your own value systems. I think we need to inventory our own values and try to see who we are and why do we do what we do. And of course, he has all of those values in abundance, which has set him in good state. Ma'am, you also spoke about, Mr. Kasturi Rangan has also spoken about your philanthropy. And you have a special interest in mentally challenged, this support of the mentally challenged. Can you talk about it?
See, I have 3 daughters, and the second daughter, she was mentally challenged. She lived with me and my wife 48 years, and my whole outlook to life changed after she was born. Earlier I was okay, I was a little brash, and I was, not that I had those qualities, but I was not that perhaps kind, I feel, if you compare those days and now, 48. But after she born, I developed a deep compassion and love and concern for others. So what is this life is? And my child showed me the way. And she brought a lot of good luck to me as well. And most of the time my wife was suffering in the sense, she was the one who looked after her even till the last. I was there with her when she died on 4th of January this year. She never troubled others. Of course, we looked after her. Whatever we could do, never, let anything under this, so that she's given best of the best treatment. But we couldn't keep her alive because she came up, and hindsight I feel yes, she's relieved from this mad world and she's gone to a better place to live. So that's how my whole life changed, and that is how, not because her alone, but I developed so many contacts because of her mental retardation, came into contact with many institutions of these kind of mentally challenged children, all these things, and I continue to give them support even today. So that's, and I have earmarked certain funds from her to give it to the institutions, especially for the mentally challenged, because I know a lot of people are suffering because there are old parents, there are no parents, so they are in a very bad state. The society should do something for them as well. This is my two daughters also said to me. They also looked after her very well. And I have got because of my 3 daughters, God has given me 3 grandsons. They are my 3 eyes. One is sitting here, and another one is sitting next to me. So one is with some classes he has gone. So I am very proud. And my son-in-law like Sandeep, but Kalyanpur. Also my Dr. Hemant Murdeshwar. They are so nice, considerate. They are very loving, caring for me and for my family. We are a united family, not only my family, my entire Chandavarkar family known, from the beginning that पांच भाव है. My people used to say, the entire, our community used to say that time, known to us, Panch Pandav Really, my all 5 brothers were known as Panch Pandav, Of course, we 3 are living now. I am the youngest of the lot. My eldest brother died and my second brother died. Also, he was such a wonderful person, very sweet. And everybody has got a philanthropic approach. My brother also, Shirani English, who does a lot of work for the people there. And my brother and the Krishna Datta, who lives in Bangalore, he also spent his whole life in philanthropy, constructing houses for the poor, doing that. And he started a college in Bangalore, almost 35, just to help the, for the village children, especially women children, women child. So he has done a lot of good work and still continue to do that. So we are fortunate to have this kind of a family. I am really grateful, and I am really grateful to Praveen Ma'am, Vinod Ma'am, and all my, my Amchi friends, and that really helped me, give me a lot of strength in my approach to life, and whatever I can do, they support me, they help me, they guide me, and I'm thankful to Vinod Ma'am to take him to SPC board on this. I'm really grateful to him. Yeah. So that's the journey, and also a lot of Amchis which earlier I want to mention few now or later on. Later I'll yeah. As it goes along.
I must also say.
Let it go with the flow.
Yeah.
No constraint for time.
Yeah. So I must also say that not only does he help the mentally challenged, but he is also a very giving person in terms of any Amchi goes to him, he has never refused, right? And I've also been a recipient because today I was struggling. I said I'm going to come from Ghatkopar. How the devil do I come in this rains and this terrible weather? And he said instantly, I will arrange a car for you. So I'm very grateful to him. So in small measure, I've been a beneficiary of his generosity too. And one more, I think we must now come to your hobbies, Mark. And you have some very fascinating hobbies. You love music and collecting sandalwood statues. So can you tell us a few things about that?
I like art and also music and dance and cricket. I don't play cricket, but I like to watch cricket. But I have a passion of collecting artifacts. I have not now, almost 30-40 years onwards I started collecting. I have some of the rare collections of sandalwood, one single piece statues of Vishwarupa and Krishna Ganpati Galai. like that many, they are very rare, very difficult to get now because the sandalwood is itself is not available. So I have collected it over the years and I am maintaining it very nicely in my house. It's covered very well, it looks very nice and gives me, morning when I get up I see the Vishwarupa. So it gives me immense benefit and lot of peace of mind. So that's a very, even my office I have kept a painting of Vishwarupa beside me. So that's my passion.
Ma'am, this.
Tell you about his love for cricket. I also love this game of cricket. So once he had come to our office, I hope you still remember, and that was South Africa versus India match. And he हमारा स्कूल है मेरे रूम में तो टेलीविजन मशीन और ऑफिस मीटिंग रूम फैन मशीन था. So we switched on. Sachin Tendulkar was in his form, element Mantathashi. And he scored 240, which is I think his highest score in one day game. So that's what he scored that day. अभी मीटिंग आकर के सीरियस डिस्कशन करो पढ़ाई के लिए मुखा 3 तास की कल 4 तास अभी फक्त मैच पढ़े तो बस ये the ham against little chop in little snacks but we were watching that match for this next 4 hours. So we had actually had decided to meet for having this important, the same tide water which he was talking about.
I think, passion and hobbies are so important for us. And I'm sure, apart from giving us some kind of, distraction or some kind of, pleasure, they also teach us something. So, has your hobby taught you anything in terms of your business or life?
No, see, the hobby like cricket gives me concentration of mind, because then unless you concentrate, you can't win the game. Of course, you may lose also, but generally you should concentrate. That concentration is very important in business, and you have to apply your mind, properly, so that you can try to find out what is happening. And day to day, you should be abreast with the happening in the world as well as in the country, what is happening. And then accordingly you fine tune your business model. Because for example now we are getting a lot of oil from outside, importing. But our inventory management is so nice, we are always careful. We know next month, but of course sometimes we lose, not that we are 100% perfect. But 99% time because of our concentration on the business, concentration on that particular subject, we never lost. Actually, we got a lot of benefits having inventory sometimes. We have got a lot tenfold benefits. So that's how the business, all the games, you look at it, it's a concentration of mind. You should concentrate. Whether it is a table tennis or cricket, football, everybody is, concentrates.
Yeah, thank you. Ma'am, you have any questions to ask ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Or you have some anecdote or story? Because that cricket story was really good. 3 hours of important meeting spent in watching Tendulkar.
One thing I remember, we had one meeting with Swamiji in Kerala. This happened a few years ago, and I still tell him as a joke or something. Sorry, I must say that he is quite senior to me in age, but I take a lot of liberties with him. So Swami ne bada should tell me meeting Saraswat. This is one Mumbai Shilo. Good assessment. Sir, no. Durgesh ma'am लेके हाथ लेते बाहर ले जाता हूँ. हमारे दुर्गेश ma'am जल है. हाथ लेते तो हम शेक हैंड कर. नमस्कार करते हैं. But I don't want my hand to become because my cup is leaking. So if it becomes gold, I will stop writing.
Vidas touch.
Vidas touch. So Swami ने हमें तो हम हाथ लेते gold जाता.
I think there was another facet about him that he also told me that 99% of the people whom he meets for work say yes to him, and only 1% say no. Mine is reverse. 99% say no to me and 1% say yes. So can you tell me the magic?
The magic, I feel nothing. Is a magic is only my Gayatri, divine Gayatri and God's and Guru's grace. If you have got this abundance with you, whenever you go, you will never get no from anybody. And second thing, your approach should be so good, and the person opposite you will read that you are a genuine or not genuine. They can make out. Because they come across thousands of people during the day. You know, they meet people, they know how they behave, whether they talk, how they behave, act afterwards. Everything they know it. And if you go without expecting anything from them, I find anybody, be, you know, whether a secretary or a minister or MP, anybody for that, anybody, I never went for a request, personal request. But I went for somebody's work to help them, genuine help. And they give it, and they tell me, you are coming for somebody else, what do you want? I said, I don't want anything, I give you a friendship. And that I maintain, even after their retirement, they are my friends. Even today, there are a couple of friends who are very deeply, they are so much like Dr. Castor. Like that, so many are there, so many. So, and I have a family relationship. During my grandson's marriage, Vinod Mom and all, Pravima's overall attended me. It was so nice. Very, I feel so happy that I am really honored because otherwise, why should they come from Delhi, here, there, everything, why should they come? It was in Pune. So, maybe a few, I don't know whether I should name, I don't know. Now, Naddas are my close friends. Now BJP president, he was health minister here. Pratipal Singh was commissioner of Pune, then he became minister of PK. Deshpande came, Arvind Deshpande came from Bangalore. He helps in our matter person out there. I never ask him for what work I am doing. He helps me, instantly helps me. So like that, so many people are there, police officer, doing that. I built a small house in Pune. Pune was not known to me when I started. In 2010 I started my construction of house in Pune. I was not knowing anybody in Pune except our Amchi, some people. Can you believe me? I constructed a house within 2 years with Vinod Mamansi, many people have seen. I didn't go to the municipal office. The municipal office people came to me with the OC. Without spending one single penny. Even matter efforts also, Kanara Education Trust, Praveen Mom knows, Vinod Mom knows. There were a lot of demands. This money that is spent, that money is required in lakhs. Not a single money spent. Just because of personal relationship, they gave orders, okay, which are aware of it. These are all, I am getting it, my friendship only for the social and our mutt. I don't do anything for my personal, I won't need that, I never go. God has been kind to me, I'm quite happy with it, I don't need anything more.
That's so wonderful to know. There is Kerala school which the construction work is going on. And the corruption is whatever Modi may say, the Prime Minister, the corruption is still deep rooted. And we wanted what is called as the PMRDA, the Pune Metropolitan Regional Development, whatever it is called, that big organization. So the PMRDA approval was required before we could start the construction. It was very critical because the school needs to be, the whole building, school building needs to be ready by May 2020 so that we can start from the new academic year. Right now we are somehow managing with double shift and all that. The school are already 430 students are there. So it was very critical. And knowing this, the officials were asking us or sending the messages, and they were asking for a very huge amount. And I don't want to mention this amount, but it was a huge amount which they wanted. Durgesh Mom, we didn't pay a single naya paisa. We just stopped and we got doctor.
Wow.
Really? I think you should take a class on negotiation, right?
Negotiation here.
What?
No negotiation, no relationship.
I mean the secret sauce of successful negotiation. I mean relationship. Okay. and I think we have kind of spent some very interesting time. Lastly, I would ask Mom to please touch this bottle so it becomes gold and I can give it away. Only at the end of the program, otherwise one of you will grab it. So thank you very much, Mom. Would you like to say something?
Yes. I would like to really thank the former Amchis who are living, not living in the dead, like Dayan Mam Majekar and D.A. Bizur, and also That Mam, Badakiri That Mam, and Bhatkal Ganpat Mam of the popular people. So, and D.A. Bizur Mam, there's people, and Nagus Ripad Mam. They helped Amchis to get jobs, there's so many things which I cannot forget. They have done so great service to our Amchi community. I am really grateful to them. Also, Praveen Kadle Mam, Vinod Mam, Uday Gurkar, Suresh Hammadi Mam, he also helped to get so many people employed in SCC Bank. Vinod Mam is doing, Praveen Mam did it in many companies, Tata companies. I am really grateful to them, and all Amchis, whoever possible, should help possible. And continue to do, and anything is required from my side, any advice, anything, I'm prepared to give it. And as Praveen Mam announced that we are creating a sort of a what's called seed capital for the into entrepreneurship and everything, which Vinod Mam kindly was coming in that. I'm very happy. Before closing, I want to thank my parents, my elder brothers, my guru, Swami Sajaya Shankar Swamiji, and my wife, whom I am missing her, she is in Madhapur, and my children, they're all, and my friends like Vinod Mam, Praveen Mam, and Uday Gurkar is not there, and like many. So I really, my folded hand, my namaste to them, and thanks to them for guidance and their support, and without which I would not have been able to come to this stage. And my entire standard family, like Vyas and his brothers and his children, everybody, they take me so much, like family. I mean, we don't feel we are different. We feel one. Maybe I'm Chandavarkar, but they always, in our wedding cards or anything, functions, in his their family name is put, in my their family name is put, both, vice versa. So that is how our relations built so many years. We are close, and I am really thankful to them for that. And again, thanks to you all, KSA, and all the office bearers of KSA for giving an opportunity to, on this august audience, to deliver whatever I little know. And thanks to Uday Mam, Praveen Mam, for taking this beautiful show such a smooth way. And I made so many notes. I missed out everything. It just again.
Difficult to cover a matter of an hour or so.
Known and unknown, everybody, and my grateful thanks.
One last lesson. One last thing which I noted just now was that how contemporary he is in his language. He talks about guys. I mean, guys is something. When I heard him say guys, our guys, etc., I was so he's on the same page. So thank you so much, Mom. It's so inspiring.
Master questions विचारती. In the meantime, हम केटरर सांगतात आणि प्लेट्स सूट करेत म्हणून आणि मस्त वेळ झाला. मस्त भूक लागले असतील त्यांनी थोडे क्वेश्चन्स याशनल सुद्धा थोडे खाऊन छान क्वेश्चन्स. So let's have, this is a very very homely function today and I have pauses over, so त्यामध्ये nobody need to go out so early. So Ajay, you can start giving. Anyone having questions, you are free. Any question? Anyway, let me start one question for myself, because he said so many things about because cricket interest Because Praveen Mami is also interested in cricket म्हणून म्हाका कळ्ळें आणि Durgesh Mami is there म्हणून त्या तांणी सुद्दां सांगलें आणि important thing is he was all the time mentioning about Shiv Shankar Mam. This Shivu Nampally has played for our school Robert Mani, an excellent batsman, and he has got such good people with him to support. So cricket manapad makukada jata sir, and I felt now that you have these 7 things in cricket. Cricket is a 7-letter word, you know. And han pail C sangal dev mun sangaru sir. Pail C. Cricket starts with letter C, and he said what? Concentration. He talked on concentration, right? And that is a fact of life. Ami can see to the umpire thanks and that. Concentrate on what? On ball. That's it. Every game you have to concentrate something. When I saw his all things, he is nothing but he is very responsible. You know, taken responsibility right from childhood. I is his deep involvement with mental, physical, spiritual and intellectual faculties coming together. See, next is his control on whatever he has done. As Praveen Mam said, that risk-taking abilities at particular stage was there. He used to stop there. Secondly, the K is the knowledge of the game. Anywhere he has put his hand, golden in them, but it has really grown. That means greases, then your oil and everywhere. He knew the subject, the knowledge was very good. He is highly energized person. And T is his tremendous temperament. And every time Uday Mam and Praveen Mam mentioned about his respect given and taken settles the account between man and man. That was proved by him. So my question to him is there any advice to people who have just crossed 70 to start some entrepreneurship?
Even if you are 100, you can start your business. I'll tell you why. As I told you already, age is mandatory, but feeling old is not a mandatory, it's an option. Today, at this age, if you give me some business, I feel I would like to do something now at this juncture. Similarly, all my youngsters should do that. I want to quote one guy called R.N. Shetty, who studied only 4th standard from my hometown, Murdeshwar. He is, I think, he is about 5,000 crore turnover company, maybe more, not less. He into hotels, ceramics, construction, infrastructure, so many other areas. He is 93 now. Even now, he moves around, goes to the sites, see himself. Can you imagine it? 93 years. 93 people were just sleeping on the bed here in the house. So that, you see, that should be the spirit. There is no age limit. You can start any time, I feel. One has got guts, one has got will, one has got tremendous energy. He can do it. Why not? It's not necessarily only that a 28-year-old boy should start, 70-year-old boy should go and sit in the house. No. Even 70 years old should start and take your youngsters with you and take along and give them later on charge. So your experience will help them, the children. This is what I feel. Thank you very much.
Durgesh Ma'am, I want to ask one question. See, most of the people who are here, I'm sure more than 95% must be working, either they made a career as a working people, not as a business people. Now, during anyone's working career, 30, 35, 40 years or whatever it is, people do come across some kind of a frustration. It can happen once or twice. It can happen about once or twice in a career. For whatever the reason may be, some kind of a frustration comes in the minds of the people. And they say, okay, I'm really got fed up of this job, I will look for another job. So you are in a corner, what to do? So you will take 6 months, 8 months, you will get a job. But in case of a business, so since you have been handling business most of the time, in case of a business, When you come across certain difficulties like this, it can be cash flow, it can be huge inventory or whatever the name it. How do you handle such situations when you are in a business, when there is a frustration, whereas a job, the person who is having a job, he has look for another job, but in the business you can't do that easily. That's what I thought I would check with you.
Fortunately for me, those things didn't come up across that, unless in that initial stage I told you, when I started transport, then came to petroleum. From petroleum, nothing to look back. I mean, fortunately I had no experience what you are referring. I had no experience that kind. But there are ups and downs always come, but that was not a great ups and downs, but that is where you stand firm on your ground. You should have the vision and also, proper application of mind, what is happening around, what is going to happen. This kind of assessment is also very important in what is going to happen. Even, for example, now our castor derivatives, castor oil, it's highly fluctuating, oil and oil, which Raju is very familiar with it. So you should know when to, correlate those oils, when to buy the seeds, how to, cover yourself with all, these are all commodities, mainly this, I'm talking about castor oil and all. Oil also is a commodity, because crude goes up and down, in the world, and Trump and Shinki Marley and price, all these things. So, then you have to play your cards. This your experience helps. If you don't know, you can always ask some people about what can happen. They will guide you also. And fortunately, we have got lots of people in the industry, they guide us, tell us what is going to happen. Be in oil industry like PSU, the public oil companies or private. They're all my friends. They tell, Durgesh, be careful now. That's some indication we get. So we position ourselves for that. See, changing a job is very easy. Of course, not easy today, perhaps, those times, but today is not easy. If you lose a job and getting another job, Herculean task. But leaving a business and starting another business is most difficult. It's not easy thing. And one should not venture.
Hi Durgesh, good evening. Vikram Padbidri. So my question to you is on the spirit of entrepreneurship. We just heard now that we as a community are not very business oriented and everybody is encouraged to go more into service. What advice do you have for youngsters when they want to get into entrepreneurship? And also, do you have any advice for the parents of such youngsters? How should they encourage their children to make the right choices?
See, first of all, once the capability of that family known to them, and what sort of a risk appetite, that family has got, depends on content once you start. The support, some people, they don't take any risk. So they say, okay, don't do it. But there are some people who do it because now suppose I earmark some money. I will now say that money is not coming back to me. I am going to lose it. I go on that theory. Suppose I start a new business, for example. Because that capacity I have developed now to lose that money also. I am not talking gambling, I am talking of the business, pure business. So that depends upon your family, their parents, what their mindset. If they are encouraging, like what Praveen Ma'am just said, why don't you become BA not a CA? Like that you can become a banker. So like that, that appetite is important for the family, their vision. My children, I will encourage them to do business. Children may my grandchildren, of course. So like that, you people also should see, and you should seek some advice. If you have got some good project, come back. That's why we are starting this, this seed capital for that only. That you should take the advantage of it. But one thing you should do, see that. Of course, every business you start, you should be 100% successful. I don't say that, but try to be as what is called cautious possible, so that you don't lose. Try to. Not that it's not in your hand. Sometimes circumstances change and you lose it. But it should not be with your foolishness. Money should not be lost with your foolishness. It should be lost with the general business. Fine. But sometimes we do, sometimes you know, कुछ नहीं करता था. That is where you lose. That should not be done. And you should have the control over your cash. You should have control over the handling money. See, earning money is many people do. I am telling you, again, in my personal case, I was earning money, but I was not understanding how to handle the money. The entire credit goes to Gas family, which I am grateful to them. They taught me how to handle the money. That is my success. I mean, I am very, forthright in my statement, and I mean it, and I want to give the credit to who that belongs to. I want to give the credit. I earned a lot of money. I lost in transport. A lot of people are doing transport. They are doing extremely well now, even today. Like the VRL, leave that, Kondus, many things. But why I lost it? Because I was not able to handle the money. So one should be very capable enough to handle the money. That's very important.
नमस्कार दुर्गेश भाऊ. एक क्वेश्चन आहे, तुम्ही ज्यावेळेस सुरू केलं बिझनेस त्यावेळेला नवीन तुमच्या सहकारी तुम्ही कशी सिलेक्ट केला आणि आता कशी करता सर आणि कशी रिटेन करता सर?
See, I'm getting a company though. My attrition rate is less than 1%. Shivshankar, no? 0.5%. He's correcting me. Although we are not a great paymasters. We are not great paymasters. If you look at the industry, many industries, maybe not lower, I'm telling you. We are not great, but we are great human beings. Our employees, all of us, and we are family oriented. Entire company to us is a family. Nobody you ask in the company, whoever comes to me, he never goes empty-handed. He always goes with something, and he never. That's what asked Shivshankar Ma'am is a witness here. Not that I'm trying to bring him again and again, because what happens is only patting my back. So I just want to, unfortunately enough, he has come. So it is how you treat people. Selecting people is not a great art. You can make out, and after some time you feel it's not possible. You can always change it. It's not necessary that you go but you should have the capability of converting bad into good. That's very important. Every human being is good. They are born good. But later date they become, circumstances made them good and bad. But you must convert. See, I remember my 50 years back I saw one picture called Doan Ke Barahat. In the Doan Ke Barahat, jailer V. Chantaram converted 6 hardcore criminals into good human beings. It's a great role model for me in my life. Therefore, I don't see anything bad. I don't say anything bad. Everything is good. It is. If they feel bad, fine for them. For me, they are all good. What do you say? Did I answer properly or not? You tell me. Selecting people, you have to select somebody who is coming. Then keeping them, not keeping them, is there. That is, we have to see as per their, how they work, how they, we come with you in your company or all this. There are so many things.
The company really works like a family. That's my experience.
Just a related question.
Yeah.
Mike.
Any question? एक मिनट भाई पहला एक माइक से एक क्वेश्चन
There's a fine line between maintaining good relationships and yet keeping accountability. How do you manage that?
See, we are also at times harsh, at times harsh, not that we are not cruel, but at times harsh. Without being harsh, even children, for example, if you are not harsh, always goody goody to them, then you will get spoiled. So you should be harsh. Doesn't mean cruel. You should not be cruel. That is where cruelty and harshness is totally different. So these things we should differentiate. People, you should love them. At the same time, you should take a stick whenever required. Tell them it's not correct and punish them. But don't sack them. I mean, possible. At the extreme end, you can't help it. You have to sack them. But you should be kind and considerate, compassionate. By that, people normally, they always love you. In my company, there are so many people are there. I have not seen so many people. I am not bragging. They truly love me. Because I never mean any harm to anybody.
Good evening, sir. I've got a question which is related and not related. Well, we are born with a lot of fears as a human race. There are fears of success, there's a fear of failure. So how do we overcome that to achieve whatever we have set as a goal in life, in business or in workplace?
What do you mean fear of success?
See, if you have a fear of failure, then you don't succeed.
See, when you take up a business, you should be prepared to lose. That is always first fear you should overcome. If you go forward, you will win. Success will come to your door. If you say, now today I lost, I'll stop it and go back, then there is the matter. Same thing happened to me. I started my business, I lost. If I stepped down, I would not have come to the stage. I said, nothing doing. I will fight it out. You must fight it out and go ahead. And you must analyze yourself, introspect yourself. What is that mistake you have done in losing that money business? That you have to introspect. By foolish behavior, by foolish way you lose, then God only can save you. One should try to analyze first why that failure happened. We should analyze ourselves, I think so.
Thank you very much, sir.
Any question from anybody? Or any question from anybody? Anyway, here is one good
Question. Durgesh, you had a wonderful, glorious career. But have there been moments where you thought this was a turning point for me, or something that was very satisfying, more than normal, in your working life?
Every moment of my life I enjoyed, in business or my personal life, my friends, relation, everything. I feel that's something I can do. I still feel I have yet to do so many things. This is what I feel I have not done enough. It is not my greed or anything for money, but I feel we can do so many things.
Best is yet to come.
Yes, that's still I feel, and I'm going to pursue that.
Okay, now any questions? The questions are not there, but one good friend of ours, Mr. Prakash Rao, wants to share some of his experiences with Durgesh Ma'am. Let's hear that.
I'd like to share one of my personal experiences with Ma'am. When I was a secretary of the Andheri Sabha, we had a Silver Jubilee celebration to come. I went to him asking as usual for donation. He opened his checkbook and asked, "Kitli borrow." I was stunned. Because this is something that you can never answer, a question that you can never answer. I said, "Ma'am, I'm in a very awkward situation." Kitli borrow. Then he asked me, "Tumi kalkal coach kaisa thi?" I told him that the entire program, and I said, "We are collecting money for contributory lunch." तुम्ही कलेक्ट केलं आहे भाई सगळे वापस घेऊन सोडले and the entire bill was put by him. Apart from that, he again opened his checkbook and gave a token amount as a donation. This is where I experienced his graciousness.
Generosity. So I mentioned that I always take a lot of liberties with him. So I said, generosity is in your surname. Chandavarkar.
Okay, it was a great session, right? Oh,
I want to say two words.
question or sharing something?
My name is Shri Uday Arur. I come from MULAQAT, born and brought up. Now I am settling in Mumbai. I am a practicing chartered accountant. And Nagarkati Mom, he said he sent me the message that he is being honored. And I really feel so proud. This kind of sharing from a person whom I know from ages, because from childhood we know the family. Mullapur was Zawai. And Mullapur I am so proud of because it is called Char Dham. एक गणपति टेम्पल about 800 years old. Magari Dattatreya temple maybe 500 years old. Alamgale Ubhaigar Krishna temple 300 plus. And of course the great birth of Shankaracharya Swamiji. So in that context, I feel so proud to be having born and brought up in such a beautiful atmosphere. And I spent my entire career there. Graduated from Kupta, now I am settled in Mumbai. Coming to this particular occasion, I could not resist myself to be here because Durgesh I know for quite long and I found him such a down-to-earth person. Recently I came to know a couple of years back that he has come to this level of entrepreneurship of 3,000 crore company, being a chairman of multiple companies and giving scope and employment support wonderfully to the entire universe and needy people. So this particular, there are a lot of takeaways on this session. One particular takeaway is that his devotion to Mat, devotion to Guru, and fundamentally the universal power comes from that source. And Gayatri, power of Gayatri. So that is the best takeaway point from here. And secondly, he is so enjoying his life also. He shared about that cricket part. So it is not that always business. You have to give some time for your entertainment and freshen up your mind. That is very essential to be balanced in life. And whenever it comes to, few times I was in Mullapur last year we met, and he is so loving and caring, and he always shows his simplicity, warmth when we meet. And thanks a lot, Durgesh Ma'am. And this session is so insightful for all of us. We have to take particularly business perspective, whatever we shared. It is not an easy game. Business, we think that he has come up, only see the upper part. Downward, what has happened, nobody knows. He has seen the bad days, and the support is his family. He said, Pachi and your elder brother also supported. So the support structure, the entire family I know for ages, and the 5 brothers are so good. They have been so generous and they have been so helpful. So thanks Durgesh Ma'am for this wonderful interaction, and thanks Ma'am to the wonderful interaction and Ma'am also. So thanks you all for this participation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you very much. Aka sang kashla enda kache ka flute was a mona. He is a great flutist. आणि खंयच्या इन्स्ट्रुमेंटार हातान दिला रे दुर्गेश मामान खंयच्या ग्रीज ऑयल कशी हँडल करता सो थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. अशा लास्ट बट नॉट द लिस्ट हान म्हण तशी म्हाका कशें जालें आनी हांव ते कोपऱ्यान वचून काल बरयलें दॅट आय वॉन्ट टू शेअर विथ यू बिकॉज when I saw this interview that MULAQAT I really felt that Uday Mam has also worked very hard on this. A question asle top business entrepreneur at which are married is a tough task. आणि हांव अशेंच म्हणालो की 10 things that require zero talent. Many of you must have also seen somewhere that. One is being on time. 5:30 आशिल्लो 5:15 येयलो तो. आमकां चिक्क्यान लेट जालो. So I am sure that you all have pardoned us already. Means KSA. Making an effort. तान भयंकर व्हड एफर्ट केला की yes, हांगा येवन youngsters have to launch and etc. Being high energy that you must have seen. He gave me a good sort of a confidence that I even like begins at 70. You start something. First thing I have thought of starting is grease only. I want to start that because grease is very important. Smooth as of lightning. Having a positive attitude, which we have seen. Being passionate, that is his life. Using good body language, you must have seen his body language, fabulous, always cheerful. Being coachable, so many of us youngsters have got some sort of coaching from him through his, passionate words. Being prepared, he had prepared a lot, but he never used that. Memory is powerful, actually, it flew something from that only. And last is, doing little extra, which he is doing even at this young age of 75. And having a strong work ethic which he emphasized. And that's what I felt that, with these points, and as Ravi mentioned rightly, that Gayatri Mantra, because to be frank with you, at least I chanted 5 times that Gayatri Mantra when he was talking, and that's why I could think of writing something. So now, last but not the least, may I request our youngster, because Raju was the key initiator of this particular process, because CSN was done once. And then Gautam Ambani was there, but one MULAQAT was there only of Mr. Suresh Hamadi, and later on there was, I don't know, maybe they were on process, whom to invite, and they got a right person. And next MULAQAT, don't forget, we are going to have another lively personality who is present with us. So you will wait for the only announcement. And then think. Now may I request Raju Kalanpur to just make a good presentation to. Okay. परत आमचे कलंगला नाक हाव नका तू नका तो दी. A small token of appreciation from all of us on behalf of KSA to Durgesh Chandavarkar. And Uday Mam also. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request on behalf of all of us, a youngster, a handsome guy, who has, come forward on his own to help this KSA CSN initiative. And I'm sure that a lot of youngsters who are present here will share this with their young friends, and a day will come when a young personality will interview a young entrepreneur, a growing entrepreneur, and all seniors will be there to guide them, bless them and all. A day will come soon. May I request Vikram Bhattudi to come forward and propose a word of thanks on behalf of Kanara Saraswat Association. Vikram.
Thank you, Sunil Ma. It's a very difficult act to follow, especially when he speaks extempore like that. Thank you all very much. Sagranta Namaskar. Respected members on the dais, Shri Durgesh Mam, Shri Uday Mam, Shri Praveen Kadle Mam, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, thank you very much for the opportunity, for enabling me to give you this vote of thanks. What a wonderful program this has been. I was extremely thrilled to be part of this program today. This 2 hours of interaction that I have seen has been extremely insightful, and I am very grateful for the time that I got to spend with you. I am sure your words of wisdom would have had a very deep impact on the entire audience here, and for the youth of our community who might want to get into business, they may have entrepreneurial aspirations, or they may want to be part of the corporate sector. I'm sure the things that you have said today will go a long way in inspiring them. I know that as a young entrepreneur myself, I have gone through a lot of difficulties, especially I'm a business सुरू करताना मस्त problems येतात. But hearing your story has definitely given me a lot of inspiration. It's inspired a lot of confidence in me. I have a feeling that everybody in business goes through these problems, but we should learn to face them with courage and conviction. I was fascinated to learn of your journey right from when you started out as an entrepreneur and your journey as a business leader, and to where you are today, I would think as a thought leader. If I had to, I think, sum up what I take away from this, in 2 words, it should be Kar bhala to ho bhala. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much to Uday Arur ma'am. Very thought-provoking questions that actually brought out the best out of him. I think if you hadn't asked all those interesting questions, we may not have had the opportunity to hear such interesting answers. So thank you very much for that. Thank you to Praveen Kadle ma'am and Jairam Kambarkar ma'am and all the committee members of the KSA for putting together such a fabulous event. Can we have a round of big applause for them? I also want to thank the staff of the KSA and all the affiliated others such as the sound recording and especially the caterers for the support that they have given us, and of course the videographer and the cameraman. Just one last thing I would like to say. I'll just take 2 minutes on this wonderful initiative which is the KSA CSM. From the perspective of the youth, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for all of us youngsters to come here together. KSA has given us a fantastic platform. I'm sure when we go back and we think about the kind of opportunities that it is presented to us, to be able to sit and interact with business leaders such as yourself, and then we have Vinod ma'am. Our community has a fantastic range of very prominent businessmen and personalities in various domains. And for us, it's a great opportunity to be able to learn from them, to actually sit and interact with them, to ask them questions and learn from their experience. So it is my honest appeal to all the youngsters out there, please give us your wholehearted support, please come and be part of this initiative. Whatever future programs that are there, please do come in large numbers and participate, because then it encourages people from the KSA to come out with more such programs that can help us. They are actually creating a network which will make it very easy for us to seek guidance and experience from very senior and learned people. A lot of us youngsters are on social media nowadays. We are always on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn. Now this CSM initiative is a similar opportunity for us to be part of this network, where we can connect with other people. So my appeal is, please be part of this, please support it wholeheartedly. Wherever in the world you may be in out of Bombay, you may be out of the country, wherever you are. Please send us feedback, send us your suggestions, send us ideas on how we can make things more interesting and how we can take this program forward. With that I conclude. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. I hope all of you have tasted these snacks from our Guru Prasad. माया पाचीकर खुशी झालेलंच दिसतात. सगळ्यांनी घेणे झालं, प्लीज घ्या. आधी पाऊस जोर असं परत एक पण घेऊन जा हरकत ना.